that interruption. That was the announcements. So now I'm back. All right, so how much does it cost to get an additional gigabyte on Horizon's plan? How can you tell this from the equation? Well, it's going to be 0 because the rate, or I guess you could say, or slope of the equation is 0. Graph the equation. I already did up here. What do you notice? It's a horizontal line with a slope of 0. That's what a horizontal line is. What should the ad say? Well, it should say unlimited data. I think. I can't even spell unlimited. I am such a math teacher. Unlimited data for $30. Okay. Now let's go back and fill in some kind of cool side notes here. Well, let's see. We got right here this equation could have simply been written as y equals 30 without the 0x. The 0x is just explicitly saying that the slope is 0. But you can just write the y equals 30 is also y equals 0x plus 30. All right? Also, no matter what the x is, no matter x, output is 30. This equals a constant. It doesn't change. Okay. And the equation could just as simply be, as I written before, y equals 30. All right. This right here is horizontal lines slope m equals 0. All right? Okay. This equation right here is y equals 30. All right? And that's pretty much it. And just as a refresher, this equation is y equals 10 plus 2x if x is the number of data gigabytes. Okay, so go ahead and write down the quick notes. I'll just blow it up. So there you, I don't know why I'm blowing it up. Here, I'll blow it up, hold it there for a sec, pause, and write that down. Here's the next one. So let me restate. Horizontal lines have a slope of 0. It's all run and no rise. So you have 0 divided by some number change in x, and 0 divided by any number is 0. Okay, vertical lines. Pause and write this down. Vertical lines have undefined slope, no change in x, but a change in y. So we're dividing by 0. Now, as you may or may not remember, you cannot divide by 0. Get that into your cabeza. So we say that the slope of a vertical line is undefined. Here is, for learning target number 3, it talks about, it gives you the grid, axes, and the graph. Notice that the y-axis is the vertical line x equals 0 because it's vertical, it's x equals. The x-axis is the vertical line y, or horizontal line y equals 0, which is going to be a sticking point for some of y'all. Okay? Now notice the two equations. You have this vertical line here. Notice that this line, all the x values are the same, and it's equal to 4. That's why the equation is x equals 4 for that line. Notice there's no y in this equation. If there was a y in this equation, then the line would have to cross the y-axis because there will be a y-intercept. All right? On this line down here, y equals -2, that's a horizontal line. It's flat. All points on this line have y-coordinate of -2. Okay? So there you go. Now, it says use the coordinate plane shown to graph the lines in questions 1 through 3. Find the slope of the line that passes through -8, 6, and -8, -5. Well, let's find -8. Well, here's -5. That's -6, -7, -8. I know a lot of you thinking, hey, that's -9. Because if this is -10, but that's not -10. -10 is over here. For whatever reason, it pushed the -10 onto that line. So this is -8. Okay. So it's right in that. That's -8. So they want -8, 6. Right there. They want -8, -5, which is right here. And if you look at those two dots and connect them, you'll find out that, hey, that's a vertical line that goes straight up and down. All rise and no run. Okay, so find the slope of the line. M equals rise over run. And the rise, you can go up 1, let's say, from this point. You go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can say you go up 11, over to the right, 0. Can't divide by 0. This is undefined. It's a vertical line. Write the equation for this line. Well, the equation for this line's easy, but you're going to get confused because you're going to think it's going to be y equals like -6 or something, or -8. But notice what the points are. What do you notice about these 2 points? The x coordinates are equal, so the equation is going to be, since the x's are equal, what do they equal? -8. And there's the graph. Write an equation for the line that has 0 slope, or slope of 0, and passes through the point 5, 4. Well, 5, 4 is, let me use a different color. Let me use that one. 5, 4 is right there. So, a slope of 0 is a horizontal line. So, there was a hair on my screen. It's driving me nuts. Okay. So, it would be that. Okay. And it will go the other direction too. Like that. All right. So this has a slope of 0 and passes through the point 5, 4. So you can write this as y equals 0x plus 4. Or just realize, since it's a 0 slope, it's just going to be y equals 4. And I already graphed the line. Now it says graph the lines x equals 0. Now again, you guys are going to think it's a horizontal line because you're thinking the x-axis, but x equals 0 is the vertical line right here on the y-axis because all the x values along the y-axis are 0. And then the other one will be, let's use that color, is y equals 0. Again, it's not the y-axis because every point on the x-axis, y is 0. Okay? Sorry, this hair is really bugging the snot out of me. Okay? So, there you go. All right? So, graph the lines x equals 0. X equals 0 is orange. So this is x equals 0. Y equals 0 is dark blue. So this is y equals 0. What do you notice? These x equals 0 is the y-axis. And y equals 0 is the x-axis, which is a little bit counterintuitive because you would think if it's x equals 0 and it's x equals, it's going to be the x-axis. But no, it's the y-axis. It's the line that all x values are equal to 0, and that's the y-axis. Same thing for the y equals 0. You may think that's the y-axis, but it's not. It's the x-axis because everywhere along the x-axis, the value of y is 0. So it's this line right there. So be aware of that. Now, a horizontal line, this last question, passes through this point, negative 3j and 6, 9. Now, for a line to be horizontal, let's look up here at this horizontal line right here. If I look at that point and that point, I'm just putting points down. Do you notice that the y's are the same? Because it's horizontal. All right? So you have to interpret that, and you have to realize, wait a sec, if the line's truly horizontal, then the y values have to be the same. So that means j must equal 9. Okay, because then you can plot those 2 points and it'll be a horizontal line. Line is horizontal, which means y is constant. Okay, and there you go. All right, I hope that made sense, and I'm stopping the recording.